Good evening, I'm Colm and you're welcome to the Business and Enterprise Show, Ireland's only live web-based business TV programme with over 2 million views in over 200 countries. And as always, we're coming to you live from our state-of-the-art studios in the Cavan Crystal Hotel in Cavan. My guest tonight is Elizabeth Giles, and Elizabeth operates and runs the Carrickmacross Wellness Centre. Elizabeth, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
I thought I'd give a fairly short introduction there because I was to list everything that you actually do. The credits will be coming up for the end of the programme. So we will eventually get to everything that you do in the Carrickmacross Wellness Centre. But before you find out what you do, tell us a little bit yourself.
Well, as you said, I run the Carrickmacross Wellness Centre. In Carrick, I'm there 5 years, Colm, and I really enjoy the town. People are lovely.
What town were you coming from?
I was coming from Gormanston in County Meath.
Well, in fairness, coming from Gormanston, Carrick, you'd enjoy Carrickmacross. There's other places, if you came to Carrick, it might be a bit of a letdown.
Well, the only thing is I do miss being beside the sea.
Well, you can't have it every day.
No, and it's a great town to work in, and as I said, the people are lovely. I moved jobs. I had been a legal executive in Rush there for 20 years, but all the time working away on my studies, and had an office at the end of my garden in Gormanston, and then decided to move and have the Carrickmacross Wellness Centre now. Originally I had the clinic on the main street in Carrick with another friend of mine, Grania, but decided I needed to make a move. I wanted a bigger premises, and I had it out the back of my house, so suited me and suited my children. I have 2 young children, and just suited the family more.
So you set it up, and you're working effectively out of your own house. But what is it that you do? Okay,
so we'll give the official title, Colm. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and psychotherapist. But really what I do is I help people achieve what's important to them. If they've goals to achieve, or if they've something they want to get rid of, whether it's a fear or a phobia, whatever it is they want to achieve, I help them achieve that. And all the work I do, well, most of the work I do, is through hypnosis.
When you say you help people achieve what they want to achieve, I suppose one of the biggest problems a lot of people have is that they don't really know what it is that they actually want to achieve. Some of them have fuzzy goals. Other people kind of have, well, this is not what I want to be, this is what I to be, but deep down it's something else that they actually want to do. Now, do you try and draw out of people exactly what it is that they want and need?
I do. I suppose there's 2 categories of people that come in. The one category is people who know specifically what they want. For example, a golfer comes in, lost his swing, he wants to get his swing back and to be focused. A dancer comes in, wants to get rid of her confidence issues, regain confidence so that she can go on to win competitions. They're the types of people who have a specific goal in mind. So generally they take 1 to 3 sessions because they know exactly what it is they want, even though we will look at the reason why they're not feeling confident or they've lost their swing. Then other people will come in with anxiety or stress, and they want to feel better. Which is a very general term, wanting to feel better.
But a good idea.
But a great idea,
wanting to feel better.
I want to feel better.
Our economy would like to feel better.
That's true. Or they want to like themselves more and be happier, which is such a broad term. So I have to narrow that down to see exactly what's going on with them and where it is they need to get to. So we devise a plan then that will suit them and get them there.
I suppose a golfer with a bad swing, a dancer losing their confidence, as you said, they are specific people.
Yeah.
But do you have specific issues? But do you have people coming in to saying, "I just don't feel right"?
Yes, I do. I have people that come in and just don't really know what's going on. They're just not feeling great. They don't have wellness, I suppose you'd call it. They don't have an emotional wellness.
As such.
Yes.
But that's a great phrase you used. They don't have emotional wellness.
Yeah. And then we have to look at, it's important to look at the reason why. And as I said, I use hypnosis. for all my work. And psychotherapy would be required for that particular person to see, well, what has gone on for that person to feel this way. And then in order to get better, for them to feel well, I integrate mindfulness into all programs that I do with a person, because mindfulness will allow them to live in the moment, so as they're not thinking about the past, they're not worrying about the future, but all they're concerned with is where they're at this moment. And through the practice of mindfulness and other techniques, they will get there.
Mindfulness, it's something that I've come across a fair bit lately. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness,
okay, and it's a term that's thrown around and so much. Originally,
you're almost a consultant. It's a bit like, what do you do? I'm a consultant.
Yeah.
What do you do? I do mindfulness.
Yeah. And what is it? Because the Buddhist monks years ago introduced it. And there's this idea.
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
Yes, that's how I remember Buddhist monks for.
But there's this idea that mindfulness, which is often confused with meditation, that you sit, you empty your mind of your thoughts, clear your mind, and that in some way will bring you to the path of spiritual enlightenment. And what I use is a different type of mindfulness. It's one that I learned with a group in America. It incorporates hypnosis and mindfulness, but the mindfulness is about being able to let go of anxieties that are in the past. So as you're not living in the now and worrying about things that have already gone, and to stop worrying about things that may or may not happen in the future. It's to just be in the moment, and this refers to, it's a mindful way of living, to live in this way.
What are the techniques? Because that's very easy for us. I suppose it's probably easier for us to forget about the past. And it's gone, But most of us, you're probably so supreme and calm. You don't.
I am very calm.
Most of us mortals do worry about what's going to happen tomorrow, next week, and next month. Now, the statistic, 90% of what we worry about doesn't happen, and I'd agree with that because it's always the case.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop you worrying about what's going to happen in the future. What are the techniques to say, well, I like to employ mindfulness? What are the techniques that people could use?
Okay, what I give to people is a mindfulness strategy, okay, on an MP3, about 10 minutes. And it goes through a process whereby they can relax their mind, relax their body. It's very short and it's meant to be listened to for them to get used to how to live mindfully, how to just deal with the now, be less reactive and more proactive. And the idea behind that is to listen to that and then not to use that, not to need that, because they'll know, and they practice 2 to 3 times a day, every day.
For 21 days?
No, not for 21 days.
Oh, I heard 21 is kind of the magic number
21
for breaking habits and kind of getting used to everything.
Yeah, 21 days is...
It's also the bust of fingers.
I didn't know that. Yeah, 21 days is traditionally the amount of days to create a new habit. But this isn't so much as creating a new habit as creating a way of living to continue on. And with practice, 2 to 3 days, and you can continue doing that on an ongoing basis. So as when you get stuck in a traffic jam and you're in a hurry to get somewhere, that you're not tearing your hair out going, oh my goodness, I need to get there.
That's the only thing you say when you're in a hurry, and you say, oh my goodness. I bet you when something drastic goes wrong, you really say, oh, bully beef.
But no, I don't at all. I'm going to ignore that. But bring it back to the breath as well, to take a breath. And I suppose that centres and focuses you back in the now. So as you can decide, okay, this is going on, you'll get through it, take a breath, relax yourself. And it's really always about bringing yourself back into the moment, because you can control how you choose to react to something. You can't control anything that's outside of you. And it's really understanding that and becoming aware of your internal awareness as well.
But that wellness technique, that's separate from hypnosis. It sounded very hypnosis-y, if there is such a word.
Well, you know what? I suppose the resemblance to hypnosis is that you will relax, and of course, when you close your eyes, you're in trance. When you're practicing mindfulness, a lot of the time you'll close your eyes and you're relaxing, and physically you're calming the body, focusing on the breath, calming the heart rate. So in that respect, it resembles hypnosis.
And what sort of issues and problems can you help people with hypnosis?
What problem can't you help people with? I would say to that.
Let me rephrase the question. Elizabeth, what problem can't you sort out through hypnosis?
Hypnosis is a fabulous tool for helping everybody, no matter what.
Look, you say helping everybody. So is everybody susceptible to hypnosis?
Okay, so what is hypnosis? Hypnosis is when you watch TV, when you read a book, when you're driving the car down the road, and all of a sudden you go, oh goodness, I didn't see that part of the journey. How did I get here? That's trance. And we're in and out of hypnosis every day, all the time. It's a natural state of mind, and it's induced more often naturally than it is artificially. Hypnosis is a tool. Hypnosis doesn't.
And does it work for everybody?
It does.
It does?
Yes.
So nobody comes to you?
Well, does it work for everybody? It does if you want it to. Because in hypnosis, psychotherapy is conducted. So the person themselves have the solution to the problem. They just don't realise it. But you have to put the...
So you don't charge? No point if the person has the solution themselves.
They don't realise it.
But again, I'm fascinated, and always have been, by hypnosis and stuff like that. But I know there are a lot of people who say, "Well, look, it wouldn't work on me." You know, I've been hypnotized.
Yeah.
I've been hypnotized so much that I can't say hypnotized.
Yeah.
I've been hypnotized, but it had no effect on me. Hell, I was sitting there listening to him while he was talking. I wasn't hypnotized at all. Or again, I know it's a completely different, I suppose, sector of the industry, of business, but we say stage hypnotist. You know, it doesn't work on everybody in the audience. And I'm just the real life hypnosis. Does that also? Is there a certain percentage of people who don't? If I go in and say, Elizabeth, this is not going to work on me. It's not going to work on me. Or if I go in and say, yeah, this is my last straw. I want to stop my cocaine habit. I'm going to Elizabeth, and this is my last. If this doesn't work, hell, I'm in big trouble. I really need this to work. Is that going to help me to make it work, or will my belief in you guarantee that it's going to work?
Your belief in me, obviously, is a contribution to the process. But if you want something, if you are willing, and the suggestions that I give you or the work that I do with you, your mind, if it doesn't want to really go there, if you don't want to give up cocaine or you don't want to let go of something, I can't control your mind and make it happen. But if you are open to the process and want to make that change, whether it's smoking, whether it's cocaine, whatever it may be, you will take on board the suggestions. Yeah, go ahead.
You said you can't change my mind, but my limited knowledge, and I apologise if I'm way off the mark, is that not what hypnosis is? To get you into a trance that you can kind of sneak in and change my mind?
That's a wonderful view of it. But no. Remember, hypnosis is the tool that opens up the powerhouse of thought, emotion, memory, and the subconscious, okay? Which makes you more susceptible to suggestion. And my work deals with taking out the barriers, I suppose, to the reasons why you're feeling a certain way or you're choosing to take. You mentioned cocaine, so I'll go with that one. The reason why.
That was only the first thing that came to my head. Let me say that here and now. Hello, guard. Yeah, we have another half hour to go. I'll be with you then.
Okay. So whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Okay. To find out. What the barrier is, okay, the reason for it.
So, in a nutshell, will I be saying you try and find out why I have the need to do whatever I'm trying to stop, rather than kind of again, am I coming at it from a different angle?
No. You see, a lot of people come in and just think that, okay, I'm going to sit down here and you're going to suggest this away from me, and I'll be fine. I'll get up and I'll walk out the door, and there won't be a bother on me. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I have a duty of care to everybody who comes in through the door. So when they come in, the first thing I'll evaluate them and say, okay, let's have a look and see what's going on here. Let's have a look to see why you're smoking, why you're eating, why something inside of you is out of control. And we will have a look.
How easy is that to find? Sometimes, people don't know.
Yeah.
But secondly, people do know and might be a bit uncomfortable in telling somebody.
Yeah, that's true, because not everybody will trust you on a first meeting. And sometimes they need to build that trust up. But if they're open to change and they're open to the hypnotic process, and it's very relaxing, and once they go, and I always go through the myths and the fears and have a good conversation with them, so we can lay it all out on the table. And I explain to everybody that it doesn't matter what they say. I don't judge. They can say whatever it is they want. It really doesn't make any difference to me. The only thing that's important to me is that we get to the cause of the issue and resolve the effect that it's having on them, so as they can live in life on a day-to-day basis how they want to.
Yeah. Now, I think it was Sigmund Freud who said that the Irish were the only race in the world that had little or no effect on psychoanalysis because they were so sceptical. Does the same thing kind of go with them in hypnotherapy? Have you found that that's true? Or are you going to argue with Sigmund Freud? Are you going to argue with me quoting Sigmund Freud?
I wouldn't argue with Sigmund Freud, but I will say that I'm still astounded at the amount of people who come in and the image that they have in their mind. I suppose the stage hypnotist has contributed towards a stereotype of hypnosis, and a lot of people have that, and they come in and sit down and say to me, you're not going to make me quack like a chicken, or you're not going to take control of my mind.
And you just throw some bread at them and say, of course not.
Yeah.
Now, one of the other services that you offer, and perhaps it's connected, is weight loss.
Yes.
Is it weight loss through hypnosis, or is it? Do you come at your weight loss from a different angle?
I use hypnosis for all work. The only work I don't require hypnosis for is for thought field therapy.
For?
Thought field therapy, and TFT for short. Which is another technique that I use. Very effective.
What is thought field? What is TFT?
TFT.
Oh, like initials.
Okay, Roger Callahan is the inventor of TFT. I think it's around about 1969. Don't quote me on that. Around that.
No, you quote it yourself.
I know that's true. And it's based on the energy centers of the body, acupuncture points on the body. People will be familiar with, and it involves a code. Everybody has a code, and you tap on the points in the body, which would be under the eye, eyebrow, side of the eye, here, under the nose, and so forth. So in regard to weight loss, I use TFT for cravings. If somebody has a specific craving for chocolate, okay, which is a huge one, we use TFT, tap around, a couple of rounds, and it takes away the craving. But what it gives people is a feeling of not being bothered, that it won't enter into their mind to choose
So again,
the food.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Somebody comes and says, look, I just cannot pass by a bar of chocolate. But actually, I do, because nothing wrong with having a bar of chocolate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I get the fun-size packs and eat the whole pack before I wake up in the morning. And look, you can see I'm now 2 or 3 stone overweight, and I've tried everything.
Yeah.
And as well as if you tried everything, something would have worked, But
Yeah.
we all say we've tried everything. But I'm coming to you. Now, you're going to do this TFT. So do you kind of touch me here, and
Yes,
here?
I do.
Or do you tell me to say, well, if when I get a craving for chocolate, go, no.
So what
off the mark again.
Yeah, so what I do is there are certain points in the body specifically for cravings.
Now, when you say tapping, you literally mean just tapping?
I mean just...
And you use acupuncture as an example
tapping.
at the points? There's
no
acupuncture
There's
involved?
no acupuncture. It's just merely as a way of... an awful lot of people be familiar with acupuncture and know that there are acupuncture points in the body. And it is a method. I generally just use 2 fingers, and it's tapping on different points of the body. So I generally get people to close their eyes, because then they can tune in better. They're not distracted. Tune in to the chocolate they enjoy, or whatever it may be. We'll use chocolate for an example. And they'll put it on a scale of 1 to 10 of how much they enjoy it. And I will tap around. It's a code, or sequence if you like. And we'll get it down to 1. And we'll lock those results
So I'd
in place.
have a different code, we'll say to you.
Yeah.
It's not that here is chocolate and here is broccoli. Not that I know of anyone who has a craving for broccoli, but it's not each particular food or issue. The person has their own code.
Yes.
So how do you establish what each person's code is?
Okay, so in TFT there are a set number of codes. So I will tap around the body, and if it's not coming down just like that, I'll know. I'll move on to a different code. So you learn from the person's reaction to the tapping, because generally it will come down quite fast.
Yeah.
So I'll just move from one to the other.
Is there logic, or what is the operation? To an extent, acupuncture I can understand. The needle goes in and it touches a certain point in your body. But tapping doesn't seem...
Right, so when you think of chocolate, or you think of a food, okay, when you get a want for something, there's something going on in your body, and there's something going on in your mind. And what the TFT does is it interrupts that pattern that is going on in you at the time you want a food. It interrupts it and eliminates it through the process of tapping on the energy fields of the body.
Now, just to go back to chocolate, I know but chocolate, does that not release endorphins in the brain by eating chocolate? So if somebody eats an awful lot of chocolate, do they come into you and say, I want to lose a lot of weight, but I'm very happy? No. That's another myth. So, the weight loss program, is that this, again, does somebody come into you and say, I want to lose 2 stone, and that's your goal? Or do you go back to square one and say, well, look, why do you want to lose weight? What has caused you to also want chocolate? Or does that matter? You just move straight onto right, we're going to just take away your urge to kind of eat practically non-stop? Or do you look for the reasons for that as well? Yeah,
I always want to know what's going on. So once a full history has been taken, and you'll see a pattern will have evolved throughout a person's life, where probably they've gone on diets, they've stopped, they've put on more weight, they've tried numerous different efforts to lose weight, but keep putting it back on. And I will always think to myself, okay, what's going on here? And we'll have a look and see if there's something getting in the way. If there's something there in the subconscious mind, not the conscious mind, because in my office you leave your intellect and your rationale outside the door. And I will have a look, and generally, nearly 99% of the time, there's something there that has been causing an obstruction to achieving their weight loss goals.
Smoking, do people still come looking for help in stopping smoking?
They do, yes. And of course, smoking, huge issue. And I have a new program actually at the moment. And I train an awful lot with the ICBCH, which is the International Certified Board of Clinical Hypnotherapists in America.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
I know, that's a mouthful, yeah. And I train with them a lot, and recently one of their smoking programs I took on, which is used throughout America with health groups and hospitals. And again, it incorporates mindfulness, but it's a very effective program. And it's 2 to 3 sessions, but I do group workshops on that as well.
Yeah. Now, going back to what you said there, 2 to 3 sessions, costings. What does a session cost, and how many sessions does somebody often need?
Okay, that depends on the person. I have programs up on the website, and 5-session program for weight loss, 3-session program for smoking, but all programs are personalised. I have never done the same program with any person who's come in through the door, and there are guidelines that are on the website, because I will deal with every person on an individual basis, and they may only need 3 sessions for weight loss. At that case, it's €70 per session. But I never leave anybody outside therapy based on cost.
You said, most people would say 3 sessions and weight, maybe 4, maybe 5.
Yeah.
If you've had somebody for 10 sessions,
Yes.
and they haven't stopped their cravings for food, what happens then?
I've never had anybody for 10 sessions for weight loss.
So, in other words, it's also whatever figure.
Yeah.
At a stage where it realises it's not working, and like there are kind of $1 million drugs that don't work, and so some things just don't work on people. And if your services are not working on a particular patient, is that kind of the end for them? Like if somebody trying to get inside their mind to stop them from eating or smoking or whatever.
I haven't had that experience yet, but okay.
Theoretically then.
Because if the person wants change, they will. But okay, I can recall a situation where I had a person and they weren't acknowledging the change that had happened, because they felt they felt that the results weren't tangible.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about some results. If you're looking to feel better, and a general change in yourself.
So are you looking at something? Somebody came in and said, "Look, can you give me more confidence?" It worked. You gave them confidence, and then they got arrogant with it and said, "This hasn't worked."
I had somebody who wanted confidence, along with other things, and
money.
And I gave him that so he could do a presentation. And he came in to me the following week, said, "Yeah, I don't know really what happened, because the following day I got up and I did a presentation in front of everybody. I don't know why that happened." And I'm thinking to myself, well, we worked on that. But depending on your mind, if you have a logical mind and an analytical mind, sometimes the intangibility of results of feeling better emotionally, people can't understand it.
So believe it or not, that is our time up. Before we go, if anyone does want to contact you and get help, you might talk to them and tell them exactly how they can contact you.
Okay, you can contact me by phoning 086 1984 179. I'm at the Carrick Cross Wellness Centre, and you can find me on Facebook. And like our Facebook page, because I'm always putting up free videos and MP3s so you can enjoy them to reduce anxiety and relax.
Well, there you go. Carrick Cross Wellness Centre, Elizabeth Giles, they seem to deal with all sorts of problems. And that's tonight's business on the Business Enterprise Show. I've been Colm. Talk to you next week. Good night.